Welcome back to SnowRunner, guys, and in this video, we are going to be taking a look at, well, basically, as you can see, a very large vehicle size discrepancy, but no, basically, what we are going to be doing today is, on the left over here, we have Risky's Powerhouse Mega Truck on a mud setup. As you can see, we have these cut boggers, and we are also going to be running the mud/race gearbox. And on the right, we have the Burley T100 with the max engine, a proper set of mud tires, and we're going to see what actually does better in the mud out here on West Georgia Mud Park. Is it going to be the high horsepower, lighter mud truck/mega truck approach, or is it going to be the much heavier, yet still very powerful, heavyweight approach of the Burley? Now, one of the most interesting parts of this is that normally we would need a truck and trailer to haul our vehicles out to the mud bogs. But because the Burley is what it is, we're actually going to put its competitor, Risky's Powerhouse, on the back of it. So that is how we're going to be starting this comparison off, and I really hope you guys enjoy it, because I feel like it's going to be very different than the comparisons we normally do. So let's go ahead and fire this thing up and get the ramps down. Let me actually put the parking brake on just so we don't have to worry about it. Let's get the ramp down and swap over to the Powerhouse. God, this thing is like, it's really loud on startup, but it kind of stabilizes out a little bit. Like, it's not the loudest thing in the world once it gets going, but my God, when you first start it up, it is properly loud. Easy does it. You don't even really have to have it, like, perfectly centered, although I kind of like to have it perfectly centered because, or at least as close as I can get to perfectly centered, because, I don't know, it helps my brain. All right, now let's go ahead and swap back over to the Burley, and let's bring that ramp. Oh, what? You shut down. Come on, dude. Let's bring that ramp back up. Good to go. And we will get the Powerhouse packed, because why would it not pack? I mean, do we see what it's on the back of? Now, I am running the sort of off-road spec gearbox in this thing, but with the max engine, I mean, for something this big, it's still not that slow. It's really, oh God. Yeah, so the turning radius will kind of get you, because the turning radius itself is actually okay, but the speed of the steering is extremely slow, and if you haven't driven really large trucks in a while in this game, it will definitely take some getting used to. But, as you can see, the creator actually altered the steering wheel position a little bit, or at least altered the, well, maybe he didn't. Maybe not on this version. That's odd. That's very odd. I thought I had updated to the latest version, because I know for a fact the latest version of the Burley actually has a adjusted middle point on the steering wheel. Maybe I'm using a slightly older version of the Burley. That's very weird. Although, Mod.io has been doing some very strange stuff lately, and this gameplay was actually recorded on the PTS and not the live build, because the live build has genuinely been doing some extremely strange things lately, and it has almost felt like Mod.io and the live build of the game are sort of existing on different planes right now. If that makes any sense at all, I hope it does. But, yeah, it's a very strange issue, and I'm really hoping that they get it resolved or figured out soon. Now, as we get, oh my God, look at that. Look at the little, like, flaps on the exhaust stacks. That's great. I love how he, like, fully animated both of them. I absolutely love that. Absolutely love it. Alright, so you guys know how our West Georgia Mud Park mud battles usually go down, and it's right over here in the main area. So usually we'll drive the truck through the first mud pit, jump it up over the hill into the second mud pit, and then we'll run one of the mud lanes. And that's just about what we're going to do on this one. But we may add a couple of extra obstacles into it, because normally we do these kind of battles with like 2 or 3, maybe even more trucks, but this one is just these two. So let's go ahead and throw that ramp down, unpack the truck, and let's see. All right, make sure this thing is turned off. Yes, it is. All right, let's get the Powerhouse fired up and backed off the rig. Now, I have a feeling the Powerhouse is going to be, you know, good to go, no issues whatsoever, but it's time to find out. In 3, 2, 1, sending it. High range is properly quick in this thing. And those, oh my God, those cut boggers are, dude, they're doing some work. Oh my God. Maintains its composure in the air really well. And it really gets down out here in the mud too. Like, dang. That's really good. Like, really good. Now, this mud pit is the one that usually gets everybody. This is the mud pit that has sunk just about every mud truck I've brought here, like even the ones that are like really, really, really heavily built up. Let's see how she does. Yeah, so we made it about a quarter of the way in and got stuck. So there's that. All right, yeah, we're going to go ahead and back this thing out of here because I'd rather not just, like, creep across this particular mud bog at, like, 0.2 miles an hour. Not 2 miles an hour, but 0.2 miles an hour. However, I almost wonder if with the immense weight and gigantic tire footprint of the Burlet, it might actually be able to make it through there. Who knows? Now, since we were not quite able to do that one, I'm going to flip this thing around real quick, and we're going to head down the far right mud lane, which is kind of a weird mixture between mud, jumps, like smaller mud pits. It's actually a really fun little route, though, because it tests out the tire grip and the suspension. Oh, easy, easy. Can you imagine what this would feel like in the cab? Like, oh my god, it would feel ridiculous in the cab. Oh god. Oh. High range is working really well for us, though. Just keep it planted and just let it rip. It does, like, such a good job, dude. I'm gonna jump it off of that. Yep. Dude, those long travel coilovers really soak up just about every bit of travel you would ever need. Now, let's give the Burlet a try. I love how we switch into it, and it's, like, still in the process of shutting down. Let's pull that ramp back up. Oh, boy. This is going to be very, very, very interesting. I have no idea how this is going to go, but I'm hoping that it goes well and we don't have to try to get this thing unstuck, because getting this thing unstuck is a task in and of itself. All right, Beans, you ready? 3, 2, 1. All right, let's go. Come on. Oh, my God. It takes it a minute to get going. Yeah, it really wanted to go back down into first gear, so I'm like, you know what? Just forget it and put it in low plus and turn all the lockers on. And so far, the immense size and immense weight is definitely coming through in this thing's performance. Absolutely, definitely coming through across the board. Almost high centers. Now, granted, there's no way this thing was going to jump going over the top of the hill. It's just not in this thing's character. It's not in its DNA at all to do really any sort of jumping. I mean, jumping, once again, is not really this thing's strong suit, let's say. But let's ease it on through the mud and then throw it back into automatic mode. Easy, easy, easy. Now it's time to try out the mud pit that completely sank the powerhouse. All right, throw it into low plus, and let's go. You know, I'm not gonna lie, it's already made it a little bit further than the powerhouse did. And it's just churning away at it, dude. God, look at the size of that leaf pack in the rear. I know I'm like, I've stopped commenting on like how it's doing, and I've just like resorted to now commenting on how beefy the leaf spring pack is. But look at it go. I mean, the powerhouse, even in low, couldn't make it through here. It just like, it was like, we are done. We are completely beached. We are not going anywhere. But this, yeah, this gets it done. But then again, I mean, it's also like, what, half the size of the mud pit in general? So I think when you think about it in that regard, it kind of puts it into a little bit better perspective. Bump it up into low plus, and now that we're out, we can just run it in automatic mode. Now, when I turn around and do that that side lane, I'm going to run it in automatic and see how far I can get it to go without getting out of fourth gear. Now, is it like, oh my god, it's like sliding just a little bit. It's a very slow motion drift. Like, extremely slow motion drift. Now, let's back you up. We'll give it a little bit of extra momentum by backing it up the hill. Throw it low plus, transfer the momentum. Actually, that little bit of gravity helped me get up into fourth gear a little quicker, so that's actually really good. Fourth gear is not going to be happy with me. Yeah, it doesn't even want to, like, you know what? I have a theory. I have a theory. High range gearbox. This is a bad idea. Don't try this. Or maybe try this if you like bad ideas. Which, to be fair, sometimes bad ideas turn into really good ideas, and that's what I'm really hoping that this one does, because if we had a really good idea, this would probably be the one. Question is, I don't know if it's actually going to work or not. All right, full send. There's fourth. There's high. So now it's locked in high, and I can't really touch anything else. I mean, that's about the only gear range we have right now. I mean, so far it's getting it done. The ironic thing is that high range is only just a little bit faster than low plus with the off-road box. I mean, it is just faster enough, but like, wow, the powerhouse was like sinking in some of these little like mini mud pits. This thing doesn't even come close. The powerhouse, I had to kind of like move the steering around a little bit just to kind of keep it happy and keep it gripped up. This, nah, just don't worry about it. Like, full send, don't even think about it. Just keep your foot planted, and it goes. Now, the mud is going to start to get a little bit deeper now, but, like, the funny thing is with this, it just feels like it's going through a puddle. Like, it literally just feels like it's going through a puddle. Now, I know that it's on a completely different playing field than a mega truck slash mud truck, and I get that. I 100% get that. But the fact that this thing is, like, walking through stuff in high that gave the powerhouse, like, I wouldn't say it gave it trouble, but like you could definitely tell that there were some areas where I had to kind of search for a little bit more grip. That's really, really impressive, no matter what kind of truck it is. That's a very, very, very impressive performance from this thing, and I gotta say, it actually really outdid my expectations. Now, I want to see if this thing will make it up over that jump and actually kind of do it as a jump. I love how I just let go of the steering and it just came around. Like, that's it. Will it even pull the front axle off the ground? Will it even stay in fifth? Probably not. Oh, it actually, you know what? I'm surprised that it even pulled the front axle off the ground. The fact that it pulled the front axle off the ground is already probably the best part of this, like, of this test. Because think about it. Think about how massive the freaking engine in this thing is. To be able to pull the front axle off the ground, like in real life, when that came back down, it probably would have broken a lot of stuff. But if you guys enjoyed this test, make sure to let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments below. Hit that like button if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new, and if you have any suggestions for odd vehicle comparisons, once again, leave any and all suggestions in the comments down below.